Hello class and welcome back to Unhinged X-ray School. Today we're going to be learning all about image receptor exposure. So buckle up bitches, it's time to learn about photons slamming into image receptor exposure, as I like to call it, is actually how the fucking image actually shows up on the screen. It's basically the amount of radiation that slams into the receptor. Do you want to know what happens when you fuck it up? Too little exposure? Congratulations. You have a grainy, noisy ass image that looks like it was printed on a napkin with a Sharpie. Grainy, useless, and just about as useful as a wet fart in an elevator. Too much exposure, and it's gonna look like your patient was spit roasted at a Kansas City barbecue. Oversaturation. Okay, fuck weasels, let's talk about mass. Mass is like the goddamn volume button for your X-ray beam. Crank it too low and it's like you're whispering. Crank it too high and you're screaming into the void with radiation. Mass is the number of photons in the X-ray beam. If you don't have enough of that shit, you're not gonna have a fucking X-ray that's worth anything. You know that one bitch you just wanna punch in the fucking throat? That bitch is mass. You're the KVP. You're doing the punching. Too little KVP and it's gonna be like you're a teddy bear punching that bitch in the face. Too much KVP and her facial bones are going to explode, and then she's gonna need a CT. Don't even fucking get me started on grids, bro. I don't want to talk about that shit. But if you put a fucking grid on your image receptor, guess what? You're gonna need more mass to penetrate not only the body, but the fucking grid. So those are the factors that influence image receptor exposure: mass, KVP, and using a grid. And obviously distance is a factor too, because the shorter you make your distance, the more intense your beam is, right? So that's going to influence image receptor exposure. Now that I have your attention with all my swear words, I can be serious for a minute, yes? Nowadays, most control panels are going to just pop out a random set of exposure factors that you're gonna take your image with. And these exposure factors that are preset by the system are going to give you an image. But what tells you if your image is good or not, if your exposure was good or not, is your exposure index number, or your S number. Every system is different. Every manufacturer has different exposure index values that you should be within, and you need to pay attention to those. The reason that is important is because the digital algorithm now is going to fix your image even if you are exposing too much. So even if your image would have been oversaturated without the algorithm is fixing it. You have no way of knowing that because the image that pops up is already fixed. You have no way of knowing if your image is oversaturated or undersaturated unless you look at the exposure indicator. The exposure indicator is going to tell you how much radiation has reached the image receptor after the beam has been attenuated by the patient. And if it's a lot, if the number is like really high, you have overexposed the receptor basically, and that the computer has fixed the image. So those are things you need to be paying attention to. Pay attention for your next exposure. Was the technique good, or do you need to increase it or decrease it? And then pay attention to how that patient's body habitus was, or perhaps what the pathology is that you're imaging, just so that you know for next time when you're imaging a similar pathology or a similar size patient, based on your previous experience, what technique is good. Did the computer pop up with a decent technique, or do you need to change it? Checking that. And that's called dose creep. Yes, I'm a fucking nerd, get over it. It's called radiation protection, assholes.